Wait,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine. Thanks.
I got you. Don't worry. Just because I'm a woman, I know what I'm doing.
I know you did.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Is it up now?
Yeah, it's up.
Oh.
Yo, what's up?
So, what's going on?
I'm good.
How have you been? Been a while seeing you.
It's been a while.
Been a minute.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
And guys, we're feeling buzzed today.
Yeah.
We're feeling buzzed.
Yeah.
I'm Most Rev, Benny up in Loxington, and this is
James.
James. And it's been a minute.
It
What,
has
what
been
have
a
you What
minute.
have you been up to?
Just basically working and just doing my grind.
Just doing your grind.
Yeah.
Just doing your grind. What does that look like?
Oh, just working and doing normal things everyone do, like just working
Yeah.
and no, just working. That's it really.
I really
I
love.
don't-
I really love your.
Oh, this is it's a cover, isn't it?
Yes.
The cover is a.
Could you tell viewers what this symbolizes?
Oh well, the thing is, everyone thinks like when they see a snake or something like a snake in their dream, they always think like snakes are like is a terrible. It means it's an omen, like it's a terrible thing. Like maybe something's gonna happen to you or they get scared. But actually, it does tell you that because snakes are not evil as people think they are, because royalty they actually have. Royalties they probably have like the kings they used to have like snakes. Back in Egypt they used to have like cobras like at the back of the seat. Yeah, exactly.
The Egyptian pharaohs.
It's just pharaohs. Yeah. So snakes are not what people think they symbolize.
So basically, this is your staff of office.
Yeah, exactly.
So that people can understand the weight behind your words.
Exactly.
And the royalty behind your
The
lineage.
royalty, exactly. That's
right.
the reason why I
That's
have
right.
it. Yeah, that's a good one.
So
yeah.
we are here representing the royalty amongst our viewers, because I want to say something now. There's a lot of you living your lives not realizing that you have royal lineage in your running through your blood, because society and life may have tried to tell you that that there's nothing royal about you, or there's nothing special about you.
Yeah.
And that you're just here to live a modicum of an existence, 9 to 5, and just get by in the good old by and by, and that perhaps your reward is somewhere in heaven, where there's a God in the sky who may or may not reward you.
Yeah.
So we represent the kings and the queens out there.
Exactly.
What do we want to talk about today? We've
Well,
got a lot to say.
Let's start with I'm going to go to relationship right now. So what I'm going to talk about relationship is because I've been having some thought about relationship, about how men put their dreams second and put women first. Because there was a thing there's this thing, Chris Brown, Please Don't Judge Me. It's a music he had a long time ago. Please don't judge me.
Right.
Chris Brown. There was one scene there where he wanted to fight for his country.
Yeah.
And he was going to the army or what? It was like an army thing or whatever. And he was fight. And no, not fight for his country actually. He was going to space. He was going on a rocket, like I don't know, going to space or whatnot. And it was supposed to be used as an experiment or something like that. So his girlfriend was crying like, "Baby, don't go, don't go, don't go." And he said, "Babe, I have to, as much as I love you, I have my countries first." And that made me think of a lot of things, because at the end of the day, even if he has done that, and I saw something else about a man, there's another thing about a man going to battle and his wife was crying, she was crying like, "Baby, don't go." And he told his wife, he said, "Do you know I love you?" And the wife said, yes, I know you love me, I love you too. And he said, but I have to go. But do you know what? Even as much as she didn't want him to go, deep inside she's proud of him. Because he's putting his dreams first before her. Usually women would say, oh, don't go, usually they would say, don't go do whatever you want to do and stuff like that. But they don't really mean it that way, because if they know that you're putting them first before what you're doing, they can't trust you.
So what you're describing is
Yeah.
is the idea that a man has to have a central mission,
A mission, a purpose,
and that
in
mission
life.
comes above almost anything else.
Everything else. I'm not saying you should love your woman, but you should not put her first. Put your dream first.
This is controversial for all the wrong reasons, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want to hear a bit more about your insight in this, but if I wanted to add something, it'd be like,
Yeah.
the reason why a lot of men don't like to talk about things like this.
Yeah.
And I want to make it clear in this podcast that there's no taboo.
No.
We go in and we talk about what you've been thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of men have been emasculated.
Emasculated.
So
after
now
all.
they believe that anytime they speak about things that are hypermasculine, that the society is going to shut them down for being Neanderthals and cavemen.
Yeah.
But having said that, dig a bit deeper into this idea of putting your sort of mission first.
Well, I'll put it this way, yeah. So there are three types of, in a relationship, yeah. Even if it doesn't matter if it's a boy and a girl dating, or if it's a lesbian or a woman, or if it's a man and a man. There's always the male energy and a female energy.
Right.
And it could contradict. So the thing is, like, if you have so sometimes, like, obviously a male energy is supposed to be, I'm not being sexist, but a male energy supposed to be the male, the man, right?
That's
And a female energy is supposed to be the woman.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, it could be the other way around. That's why you said that men are being masculated.
Emasculated.
Yeah, with other way around. And when it's other way around, it means that the man is not fulfilling his purpose in life,
Right.
and the woman is doing that. So the man has become the man has become the woman, and the woman has become the man.
Yeah.
And well, there's nothing wrong if you have kids, or you have sort of commitment at home and you have to take care of the kid. But you must, as a man, you must not lose your purpose in life, because as soon as you lose it, the woman will not be sexually attracted to you anymore.
All right, let's go there. So
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
When we talk about relationships,
Yeah.
people immediately pick sides.
Yeah.
You have the red pill guys,
Yeah.
and you have the hyper feminist side. But we don't have to always have this gender war whenever we as men and women want to interface with each other.
No, we don't have to.
This is how society tries to divide a lot of you, by giving you ideas that it's wrong for a woman, for instance, to express her femininity. So now we have, and this is tying down to what James is saying, women now have to constantly put on a lot of masculine energy,
Yeah.
just to survive in what is often a very difficult world for some to live in. It's not difficult for us. We're balling out.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, as you said, at the end of the day, if the man is not having the male energy, the woman has to take it up, isn't it? She has to play that role.
So, what would you say is the main aim of a relationship then?
Okay. So there's different ones. So there's some women, like, maybe they had trauma when they were younger. They had trauma in the sense that maybe their dad used to beat them up, or they got traumatized. You know what I mean? Like, they were always shut down as a female, and so they never had a time. They never had to express themselves, right? So most of those kind of women, when they go into a relationship, they don't mind if the man has the female energy, because it gives it. That's the first time in their life they've ever experienced a man allowing them to be, a bit. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
To be a woman.
a woman. No, not actually a woman. I'm talking about. I mean, like when you're a woman and they've been suppressing you, you don't feel like or they've been shutting you down and telling, look, a woman's place is in the kitchen. A woman's, you know what I mean? I'll tell you what I mean now. A woman is in the kitchen. A woman is supposed to be heard. Then you might want to go into a relationship where you want to be heard. And if the man he has a female energy, you don't mind having a male energy there, because you don't mind him going to the kitchen and you being the one, doing the role of a man, because you at that point in your life you feel like, okay, you know what, I can finally be heard, and I don't know, maybe you're not getting. You get what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
First and foremost, we
Yeah.
have this issue of men not really understanding why they're going into relationships, because
true.
women know why they're going into a relationship.
Yeah,
Most women know why they're going into a relationship.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to speak freely.
Yeah.
This is a no hyper feminist zone.
Yeah.
This is a no red pill zone. A lot of men don't understand why they're going into a relationship. They often go in because they are lonely, because they want sexual gratification, because they're attracted to the physical aspects of the said girl, because they believe that this is what completes them as a man to be in a relationship. But like we said in previous podcasts, when it comes to relationships, the greatest relationship is the relationship you have with yourself. When you have a solid relationship with who you are, and you understand the dynamics of your own personality, the dynamics of your own makeup, what your mission statement is,
The purpose in life.
your purpose in life, then you have something to share with the feminine. Women, on the other hand, by and by, understand the importance for them on a biological and social level to be in a relationship, be it for protection, be it for provision, be it for profession. What I like to call the 3 Ps. A man has to tick off the 3 Ps to be of any utility to a woman. He must be able to provide. That's not necessarily saying it's just financial. That's a great one to be a provider for, but often it can be emotional support. It can be spiritual, anchor.
And it could be also
It could be-
financial as well.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Finance is a physical crystallization of spiritual authority.
Yeah.
So your provision is the first thing, your protection as well, and profession. When I say profession, you have to profess your love. You have to profess your ability to be on her team, right? And when you can tick those 3 things off, then you can have the relationship.
Yeah. There's another. Sorry to cut you there.
No.
There's another thing I observed. If your woman's you and your woman having an argument, right, and she's telling you something, women don't lie, but they just do not say. So people think women lie, right? But they don't lie. But they could. They're like, they could say something, but they mean something else. That's how women are. So let me give you an example. Like, let's say you just want a contract. You come home, you want a contract. You say, girl, I just want a contract, and stuff, and I'm so happy. And she goes like, she doesn't even care about that. It's not like because women are not, they don't go with history. They don't go with what your CV. They go with now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't, it's only we men that go with history, CV. We go like, like now, Benny used to be like this, used to be like this. You could, like a woman, you could have done everything that was good. One mess up, it might be over.
And why do you think this is so?
I think women go with feelings.
Right.
Feelings is one, and two, I feel like. Okay, let me just go back to what I was saying first before we go to that one. So I will tell you why I'm using that example, right? So you come home, the man comes home and says, look, I just want this contract. And the woman goes like, but wait, have you gone did you buy what I told you to buy when you were coming back? Because I left it in your suitcase. I left a note in your suitcase for you to buy me, I don't know, some groceries for coming back home. And you go like, oh, I forgot, right? And you go like, oh, anyway, I'm going to get it now. Sometimes it's not that she's talking about. She doesn't want to spoon, like, okay, real women don't want to make you feel like a son, or they don't want to make you feel like a baby, like, like, hey, okay, oh, you want a contract. They're not your mother.
Right.
They're not your mother. They do not, look, they were, at that point, all she wants is, she wants love. What I'm trying to say is that when your woman is arguing, they want love. There's a reason why they're not arguing because of that. They're not arguing because of what they actually said. They're arguing because they want you to do something like a man. You want to be an alpha male, yeah? Shiva, you want to bring your Shiva, the Shiva out of you, right? So what do? You don't argue with her, or you do just bring her close, smile, and kiss her, and say, babe, I'm going to get it, later, or something like that. When you do that, then she wants to listen to what you just did.
Now, everything James is saying, in my opinion, only applies to what I like to call the ideal woman, or the virtuous woman. When you go to Proverbs chapter 31, it describes them. For those of you bibliophobes, you might want to tune out now, but we find a lot of wisdom in tradition. We find a lot of wisdom in the scripture. Exactly. And not just the Christian scripture, but a lot of these traditions and the pillars laid down by intelligent cultures before us. So if you explore Proverbs 31, it speaks a lot about what is called a virtuous woman. There are certain women that when you show exactly the kind of affection James has described, it just turns out even more feral.
Exactly.
So we have to have this understanding of the fact that not all women are the same.
Not all women are the same.
Not all men are the same.
Exactly.
So that comes back to what we said at the beginning. Why do you want a relationship? If you are going into a relationship as a woman, you often have a reason. Is it because your dad failed as a man? And so now you're looking for a father figure that can replace the vacuum created by the lack of a masculine model or role model in your life. Because you find that a lot of women, and this is some advice I want to quickly give to young men, and again, I don't mind caught in controversy. Look for women that have healthy male role models in their life. Be that a father, be that a stepfather, be that an uncle, a big brother, some sort of respect for the male figure. Unless, of course, you want to be that guy who is a fixer-upper. So you're there to fix somebody who's been traumatized, and that's fine. Often you might be called by God or whatever you believe in to fix somebody up, right? But if that's not you, and you want to hit the ground running with the right kind of energy from the feminine, you have to look at her CV. If you're looking for, if you're trying to employ somebody, you look at their CV. So you look at the CV of the woman. What is her relationship with her father, her stepfather, her uncles, the male figures in her life? When you tick that off, then you have a very strong foundation to build a relationship with her. Because like James was alluding to, when she says something, she often means something else.
Different.
So a rule of thumb with women is women vote with their feet.
Yeah, their feet.
They vote with their feet. Don't look at what a woman is saying. Look at what she's doing.
Exactly. Look at what she's doing.
Are your messages unread? Is it taking her 3-4 hours to respond to your message? Especially in a society where everyone's glued to their motherfucking phone.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
Exactly.
Everyone's glued to their phone.
Yeah.
Has it taken her 3 hours to respond to it? Maybe she's not that into you, bro.
Exactly. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
And choose the person who is choosing you.
She has to choose you.
Right.
She must choose you first.
Right.
If she doesn't choose you, it's not gonna work.
Unless, of course, you want to end up on the sex offenders unit.
Go for women that choose you. Don't
Choose who chooses you.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, that's what you have to do. And there's another thing like I did notice is when a man is having his birthday, a woman would ask him like, "Oh, where do you want to go? What do you want to do?" Women don't really like that. Women like the woman like surprises. They don't like you. You don't like, for instance, let's say a man has a girlfriend, and the girl's like it's a birthday, and he goes like, "Oh baby, babe, where do you think we can go?" She can't trust you. It's not that. That's not a male. You don't. It's not like a male energy. She can't trust you because how can she trust a man that cannot even You're not leading her. You know what I mean? She can't trust you because you're confused. But when you surprise her, you just go like so let's say like today's a birthday. You go like, babe, dress up. We're going to that place. She looks at you and she's like, wow, man of authority. She gets a rose. She wants to. At that point she wants to kiss you, and because she feels that you know what you're doing. You're not trying to because at the end of the day you asking her that question means you're telling her to lead, and she wants you to lead because it's her birthday. She wants you to be in control. It's a birthday. Search for places, look for nice places, book it, and just tell her.
So let's help the young guys out there.
Yeah.
A lot of our viewers come from a different spectrum of ages. We
Exactly.
have people, we've done our demographic check. We have people who start watching this podcast that are like 18, 16. all the
Did
way
you say
up
like
to
16 to 25?
Exactly.
Yeah, 16 to 25.
So let's start from the basics.
Yeah.
How to initiate, because we want to help you out, to initiate the relationship to start with. So if we break this into 3 stages, from the hi, I saw you from across the room stage, to the first date,
exactly,
to the relationship stage, and finally, if that you're so led to the marriage stage, right?
Exactly.
And also what happens when love fails, when the relationship for whatever reason hits the rock and you have to bounce back. So we want to quickly lead our guest in this conversation through that life cycle. So if we say we start from the very first stage, in which a man has done his personal audit and said, this is who I am, this is my financial capability, this is the kind of person I need in my life, this is the kind of woman that I can complement, and vice versa. Now I'm ready to go into the dating market, or the meat market, or the horse market.
The meat market. That's funny.
And find myself a mate, because the scripture tells us that it's not good for a man to be alone.
No, of course.
I notice on this show we're very binary, but that's a different conversation.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, from your perspective, you're a man of the world. What are your sort of tips in regards to the initiation stage, the very first stage in which the man has made up his mind that this is where what he wants?
Well, first of all, we said it before. A man between going from that 16 to about even 25, not supposed to even think of women.
Right. What's he supposed to think about?
But it's dreams. Because look, at that age, it's so hard for you to differentiate your dreams from relationship
And from the dreams of others.
Others as well. It just gets chaotic because it's hard for you to control. Because that's that stage where you get that crush thing.
Right.
And when people the crush thing, they don't know what they're doing, because love is different from crush. Infatuation. That's the word. Infatuation. Exactly. When you're infatuated over a girl, oh my God, it's like you can drop your dreams, and that's that age they drop their dreams. Because when they get infatuated, oh my God, I like this girl so much. Even they don't even know they're doing it. That's why we went to let's go back to father figures.
Right.
And mothers in that side would not, I would feel fathers will call that bullshit out.
Right.
Fathers go to the root of the problem. Good fathers, they go and take. So what they're going to say is to their sons, like, son, you can't, take it slow. You know what I mean? But it's because you cannot be, yes, you're infatuated. there's a possibility that you lose your dreams when you infatuated like that over a woman at that age. Because when you infatuated, you know how it goes, it has happened to me, and probably has happened to you, where you get so infatuated with a woman and all the things you want to do is over.
It's like a drug.
It's a drug, yeah. You just get, and the woman you infatuated with, she
couldn't care less.
She cares less. She's still pursuing her dreams.
Right.
Yeah, she's still pursuing her dreams and
So
stuff. Yeah.
in essence, we're still at the primer stage.
The primer
so
stage,
James doesn't want us to rush into the pickup stage yet.
No,
we'll
not
get
yet.
there.
Not yet.
But
not yet.
what we're saying is between the ages, let's leave the early teens out of this.
Yeah.
Because you should be at home doing your homework.
Exactly.
But from 16 to 25, what
yeah.
you're saying, James, is that
Yeah.
the guys need to chill.
He needs to chill.
And what is it? Focus on a craft, on a skill,
on education,
sports, whatever the case may be.
He needs to take it seriously.
But what of the difficulty in doing this? For instance, if you're a good-looking lad,
yeah,
and you have the hormones roaring in your bloodstream,
that's another thing. Actually.
And you have a lot of, especially in the hypersexualized age that we're in which the young girls and the young men are sexually active at a very early age, and they are taught by rap videos.
Oh, that's another topic. Yeah,
and
exactly.
by Hollywood, that you've got to have a relationship.
Exactly.
And it's funny because one of my favorite artists, she used to be one of my favorite artists until she sold out. That's Thames. She came out to say that at the age of 29 she was still a virgin. Now, I wouldn't bet the farm on that, but the idea of holding on to your virginity till that age is something that is very rare in this generation, and it's highly applaudable. If it is true, Thames, I really respect the restraint. She always was my favorite artist, and I know I've
always respected her as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I've always respected.
But if we juxtapose that to what we're talking about, we're saying men practice self-restraint, practice retention if you can, and that brings us back to retention as well, because this all ties in. This podcast isn't just a social discourse. There's a spiritual element to it. Exactly. So when we're talking about retention, we're talking about semen retention.
Oh, that's really important.
We won't go into that so much in this particular podcast. That will be for another podcast, James, because that's a really deep topic.
That's a very deep.
But when you can retain your essence as a man, your discipline and your sexual energy, it enables you to crystallize the Christ consciousness in you, and that then enables you to receive a download from higher dimensions that tells you this is why you're on this planet.
Exactly.
That can save you 10 to 20 years.
So sorry, there's this thing called superconscious and subconscious and consciousness. So what's the superconscious? Is that the thought behind the thought, or
the superconscious is referring to God consciousness.
God's consciousness.
So you have the everyday conscious life, which is anchored to the material world. Now, there's an exercise I like a lot of my clients in my private practice to do, which is I tell them to say, "Hey," in their mind, for instance, or say their name in their head, and they often say, "Okay, I've done it, Most Rev."
Yeah.
And then I ask them, "Who spoke?" And did you hear yourself? They say, "Yes." With what ears did you hear? Because you've screamed something in your mind, and without vibrating physical sound, you were able to hear it. And without your eardrums being able to vibrate and process the sensory nature and electrical impulses of sound, you were able to hear yourself. So who spoke and who heard? Now that part of you that can speak without words, that can hear without ears, and can see without eyes, that is your higher dimensional self. That is your superconscious self.
Exactly.
Now, the unconscious self is the aspect that takes care of certain things
Is it unconscious or
in the
is it
background.
subconscious?
The subconscious,
Subconscious, yeah.
subconscious, unconscious, they're pretty much
Yeah, they're probably the
synonymous.
same,
They're,
yeah.
they're very synonymous
Similar, yeah.
because they are going on in the
In
background.
the background,
Right.
exactly.
But your superconscious is in charge of everything.
Is it divine?
It's divine. It's your divine self. There's an aspect of you that is in existence in a dimension higher than this, and it's dreaming this world into existence. So you have the illusion that you are a body or that there's a physical existence. However, that's simply your superconscious self dreaming this reality.
Dreaming, exactly. So do you can you put superconscious to when you actually dreaming as well when you're sleeping? Is there a similarity to that?
Now the dream world, and
Yeah.
I have a book out called Dream Magic. I'll put a graphic of it here. It's available in every fine shop. Dream Magic and Invoking Christ. Dream Magic talks about how you can use the world of dreams to jump timelines and to jump between lives.
Yeah.
What does that all mean? And again, we won't go too deep into that because we'll have another podcast where we go deeper into the spiritual issues. We want to kind of stay on topic with relationships. But having said that, your dreams are a playground for your mind. And the dreams that you have are simply stargates. They are portals through which your higher dimensional self explores parallel timelines, different potential lives from the past, from the present, and from the future, all in one.
That is the now. That is now. Isn't
That
it?
is in the now.
Yeah.
That is in the now.
Mm.
But we do need a whole podcast to
For
really
that one,
digest
yeah,
that.
we'll talk about that in the
So,
next
but
podcast. Or,
yeah.
yeah, we should
Yeah,
talk about that.
where
so,
where we can really go into explaining what dreams are.
so now we're talking about spirituality. Now we're going from religion now to spirituality. Exactly.
Religion is man reaching out to God. Spirituality is God reaching out
Not
to
to
man.
man. Exactly. Do you know what? What fascinates me is, you know, in the book of Enoch, right? When Isaiah, sorry, Virus. Isaiah, when he said he saw a vision of Christ and all that, he didn't call it, he called it Emmanuel,
Yes,
God with us.
God with us.
So it's why was he called Jesus in the New Testament then?
For the same reason that there was a guy in the Middle East 2,000 years ago called John, and another called Luke, and another called Matthew.
Because
For the very same
it's
reason.
spiritual. It means God with us.
Right.
So it's inside. It's with us. It's inside.
Within us.
It's within us as well.
Right.
And with us is with us. So of course, when you say with us means with us, but then we have to like say
Personalize
it. It
Right.
means it's you know
It's with me.
with me. It's with you. It's with
with-
everyone.
It's with everyone. So again,
Which is his name, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. So if you, like I said, get the Invoking Christ book and the Dream Magic book. In the Invoking Christ, and we speak about the disciples as archetypes of the mind. They are not historical figures. They are actually archetypes of your mind.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
But let's go back to relationships.
Yeah, relationship now. Oh,
Let's go back to relationships.
So, as I said, men lose it. Young boys lose it at the age of that 16 to 25, and it gets too late because one out of like I don't know, 1 out of 500, or not maybe 1 out of 500, maybe 1 out of 100 or whatever, do not actually after 25 the girl's gonna leave them, and then when they realize they're like, oh, it's too late. I should have done that, and I should have done that. And this is where the father figure comes in, or your uncle, or I don't know, you have your stepfather or something. He will tell you like, bro, what are you doing? Slow it down. But when you just, I'm not saying women as single mothers cannot do that, but it's a bit, things of men is like, you probably have a father that have gone through that stage before, and he has had that experience, So it's easier for him to talk to you than your mother, because your mother has not really gone through that experience, and your father probably have done, or he had a brother or he had a friend, and obviously he wouldn't want that to happen to his son,
So
or
he
you
doesn't
know what
want
I
his son
mean.
to repeat the same
Yes,
mistake.
so it's the thing. So he's gonna call you, but your mother might be a bit, mothers are a bit love, they warm. They don't, even when they see that sons is doing something that is not right. They, because of the love they have for him, they won't want to cut him. They won't want to like be blunt with him.
It does depend,
Yeah,
because if the single mother,
yeah,
because single mothers are part of the discussion, if a single mother hates the father of the son, often
yeah,
she sees the mistakes of the father in the boy,
and the boy
and
exactly.
then there's what you might call a projection of certain emotions on that boy. But if we go back to the idea of you restraining yourself until you focus on your mission on earth
First,
before you go
so
into
any
the
relationship,
initiation stage,
yeah,
then you'd have done yourself a great service,
exactly.
right? We're not saying don't have girls who are friends,
Yeah, there's
but
nothing wrong with
but
that.
we're saying don't sell your soul too early,
Too early. Don't
too
do
cheap.
that. No, don't do
Okay, so
that.
now let's assume we've moved beyond that stage. The young guy, he's waited till he's about 25,
Exactly.
and he's got a career track, he's
Exactly.
got a financial track, he's got a spiritual track, he has an inner understanding of himself, but now he's ready to actually move in and find himself a
A
partner.
partner now.
How would you, in your experience, suggest that he approaches this? Because it's become very difficult now to even.
I think if you pass the age of 25 and you got your dreams, yeah, if you find a partner, the partner must be able to support your dreams too. Because if she's not, a dream you built for like 4 or 5 years can go down the drain if you meet a wrong person. Will just go like, if you meet a wrong person, everything will be destroyed. So you need to find a partner like has your interest in heart, and you have to do the same to her. It's not, so we're not saying it should be one-sided, right? We're not saying a woman should support a man's dream alone. We're saying that a woman should support a man's dream and a man should support the woman's dream. It is it's a give and take, isn't it? It's you have to support each other's dreams, and if you do that, because there's another thing that Madonna said something, said love is an interest. And when he says that, when she said that, I did understand what she means. Because if the interest is not there, like if you guys are not interested in each other, like in the terms of what he's going through and what you're going through, and there's no focus between both of you, and you guys are not supporting each other's dream, which is still the interest, it's not going to go anywhere. What's going to happen is one person is going to be like, oh, blame. When you start blaming your partner for your fuck up, it doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? You need to be accountable for whatever you're doing. So if you go into a relationship, make sure that the partner you're going, the person you're going to, the girl or whatnot, make sure that girl's aligned with your dream. If she's not, I'm really sorry.
Absolutely.
I don't think you should go into
Absolutely.
that relationship because
Absolutely.
it's just going to be chaotic.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
now I think we've kind of gone into the relationship part.
Yeah.
If we can retrace a little and speak about the actual initiation stage.
Oh, the
So
initiation,
because
yeah.
I get a lot of emails, I get a lot of messages, and people say it's become very difficult to even say initiate an interaction organically anymore, because everyone's on social media,
Oh,
everyone's
you told
on
me
the
again.
dating apps.
Oh,
So what I would
tell
like
me
to
now.
say is, because you've done your homework and you realize the kind of woman you're after, and if
Yeah.
you were to ask me, I would say look for somebody who's family oriented,
Oh,
somebody
that's
who
another
has a
thing, yeah.
strong relationship with male figures in her life, like we said earlier.
Okay.
And now you have to find yourself, where do I find such people? If you are looking to be a Hollywood actor, you would be doing yourself a disservice if you lived in Birmingham in the United Kingdom. You'd be better off living in LA. If you wanted to work in the biggest tech firms in the world, you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you were living in Timbuktu or
Yeah.
Zanzibar. you'd be better off living in Silicon Valley.
So you mean like being in the right place at the right
You
time?
have to go to where the energy is. And for
Yeah.
those kind of homely girls, you want to be in the food markets. You want to be in the whole food shops. You want to be in the libraries. You want to be in the museums.
Yeah,
You want
that's
to be
the
in the
place,
galleries.
exactly.
You want to be in college, right? You don't want to be in the clubs.
No, you can't
You're
find
not going to
them.
find them in the strip club.
No,
You're not going to find them in the bars.
no.
You're not going to find them in
They
Walmart.
might come to the bar once in a while, but they okay. This is the thing about bars as well, which I would say something because if a good woman comes to the bar, yeah, she's having the same mindset the same thing you just said now. She's thinking herself like you're not gonna find a good man at the bar, so it contradicts. So of course, good woman can go once in a while to the bar, maybe once, or she goes for a birthday party in the bar, But her mindset's already, sealed that she ain't gonna find a good man at the bar. And you're saying the same thing. You're saying now that a man is not gonna find a good woman at the bar, right?
So if I ask you, when was the last time you found a good woman at the bar? Personally.
I was really young.
Right.
I was, I think that was the first time I actually, maybe 25.
And did it work out?
It did work out.
Yeah.
And you know how it worked out? If you notice something, this is how I found that time was she was sitting alone. Most good women get uncomfortable when they go to bars. They're not I've always thought, look, I've always even told like my young cousin, I said, look, if you go to a bar and you feel like that's you want, maybe you went to the bar once in a while and you found, always look for girls that are feeling uncomfortable sometimes. If the energy is not, because good women, when they go to bars, the energy is not, they're uncomfortable. You could feel it. Some of them would just, their friends will be dancing, they will just stay in one corner and they'll be very, very like, as if they don't have any confidence in themselves. Why they're doing that is because the energy is not aligned to those kind of places, And that was how I felt, because she was just,
Well, I would say you were lucky, because the reality is, if a woman at that stage doesn't understand where she needs to be, then it's possible that she's somebody who is easily swayed. So, the same way women know where to find a rich man. So when a woman wants a guy with a certain level of financial ability, she's not going to go to Walmart to find him. She's going to go to the country clubs. She's going to go to the high-end boat parties.
Of course.
She's going to go to the financial districts. She go to high-level parties, etc.
Exactly.
So that's the same energy I want the gentleman to take. So whereas James was blessed that it worked out.
It once in
Often it doesn't.
It
so,
doesn't,
but now
course
let's
it doesn't.
assume you put yourself in that environment. You've gone to a gallery,
Exactly.
and then you've seen this. You've seen a prospective love interest.
Yeah. Interest. You said love interest.
Love interest.
Interest is still there.
The interest.
That word interest must be there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love
Okay.
interest.
Yeah.
So what next? Put down your phone. Interact. What's happened in this generation is that the men have become scared of women.
Because we're always on the phone. They're always on the phone. They're always on the phone.
Because they're always on the phone.
Always on the phone. They don't even know how to talk. They don't even know how to talk to their friends anymore. In real life.
So how are we going to do this? Are we going to be a society of phone drunk, emotionally stunted men who rely on red pill videos to get by in life? Or are we going to put down the phone and do what the most reverend and James is suggesting? I would listen to us. What you need to first of all do is, now that you're in that environment, look for choosing signals.
Exactly.
I've heard a lot of people say choosing signals are useless.
Yeah.
But without looking for choosing signals, you've already lost half the game. The reason is because you choose people who choose you. Now, because you've already put yourself in an environment where the talent that you're looking for is there,
Yeah.
any choosing signals you get from that environment will be amenable to your long-term goals.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were in a
It's
strip
long-term
club,
goals.
right? If you were in a strip club and you were getting choosing signals from a stripper, it's still choosing signals.
It's still the same, yeah, of course it is.
But
yes.
is that
How
what you're
long is
looking
going to
for?
go? What longevity? How far
And
is it
how
going to
many
go?
people is she giving those choosing signals to?
Well, is she a pro?
She's right, right.
Well,
There are three rules:
yeah,
make contact, make her laugh, make a date.
that's it.
You have to make her laugh, and I'm not saying be
And,
Kevin
you,
Hart.
and if you say in the gallery, talk about the paintings.
Talk about life. Talk about something of mutual
Yeah,
interest.
even the painting, because mutual interest is the painting. She came to the gallery to look at paintings.
Right.
Talk about that as well.
Yes.
And from there, make her laugh, do a
Make her
bit of
laugh.
jokes, make her laugh. Of course, she's gonna give you a number. She will give you the number, but
Yeah.
you know, don't go like a hawk. You know what I mean? Just don't
Right.
go quick and go like let her feel that you're actually interested in the gallery. You know, because if you go, so the thing is, yes, I do agree with you, but if you're not interested in paintings, don't go to the gallery.
Right. Because you're then just a creep.
A quick, exactly. Because you're not interested. So why are you going to the gallery? It's if you're interested, then it aligns with her. Because the thing is, women do not go somewhere they don't have no interest in.
Unless they are pros.
Exactly, and that's when it's not going to work because
Yeah.
that's what she came for.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if she really likes paintings, that's how you get her. You know, she likes paintings. You like painting. You guys talk about painting. Oh, is that what's the famous painters again? Michelangelo. Caravaggio. You talk about that. You know, it just aligns together.
Right.
You know. Then from there again, you make her laugh. You know. Then don't be. That's the first thing you get her number. Oh my God, that is going to be ridiculous. She's going to be like, you're creep.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're 6'8".
Yeah. 6'8" giant. Exactly. Yeah, but don't do that. Just, you guys have a conversation and talk about the paintings, talk about, then you can now relate the paintings to life.
Right.
Because artists, their paintings have meaning.
Right.
And the meaning has is aligned to. You have to finish? Okay. So the paintings go with, aligns with what is happening.
And
yeah.
Just add to what you're saying.
Yeah.
When you get her number,
Yeah.
don't be that guy that calls her before she even gets home.
Oh, I know.
Exercise restraint, gentlemen.
Restraints, yeah.
Let her get home. We're not talking about playing games, but we're also not talking about neediness. Because one of the things that will immediately make issues difficult for you in this dating game is neediness.
If she can feel that you're needy, or she no, it's not gonna work.
Because women like guys that want them but don't need them.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
Mm.
Okay, so now because we need to make a bit of progress. So now now you've taken her number.
Yeah.
You've given it a day.
A day.
And then you've called her.
Yeah.
You have to make a date and get off the damn phone. Don't be that guy. And James might have a contrary opinion, but this is what works, guys. Make a date. Be specific. And get off the phone.
And get off the phone.
So, hello, hi, it's James on the phone. Oh, if she says, which James? Then you know that you're out of the game.
Yeah, that means she doesn't even remember you.
I say, oh, do you know what? Wrong number. I'm sorry I bothered you.
Yeah.
Have a lovely day. Make an excuse and get off the phone. But
Exactly.
if you already made her laugh and you had that connection at the gallery, as an example, and then you called her maybe 24 hours later, she'll remember who James is. So now she's saying, James, it was nice meeting you. And you speak a little for a couple of minutes, and then you say, hey, join me. Now listen to the language your uncle here is using. Join me. Join me at this restaurant at this time. I would love you to join me. It's an invitation.
An invitation, exactly.
And by making it an invitation, it means that you could actually go there on your own if she says no, because your life is so complete.
Yeah.
But you just want her to join you.
Yeah.
So now she can say two things. She can, because women who like you will help you.
They'll make it easy for you.
They'll make it easy for you. They won't put roadblocks on your path. You have to exercise restraint.
But you know the funny thing, sorry to cut you there. The funny thing is, you said when women like you, they make it easy for you. Even sometimes, in my past, I mean, like, you know, when I dated, when I was, you know, my, you know, long time and whatnot, whatever, I noticed something. Even when you fuck up, if she likes you, she will refrain. She will make you on. Of course, you fucked you up.
Try and unfuck you
or
up.
fuck you up
Yeah.
because she really likes you.
Right.
Yeah, but it's rare. It's really rare though. It's really rare to find stuff like that.
But if you've done the homework that
Yeah.
James and I spoke about earlier, which is you've
Earlier.
not rushed into the
You've not
process,
rushed it,
you've
yeah.
taken time,
Yeah.
your fitness is there because you're going to the gym.
Yeah.
Your financial life, you don't have to be a
At
millionaire.
least you know
but
she
it's
got a
on
life.
track.
At
Right.
least you know you got a life. You know.
Right, and you just
Exactly.
want her to join you in
Join
that
your life. Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't want her to come and be your mommy or your
yeah.
emotional dummy.
Exactly.
Right? So you're on the phone, you've invited her, you've given her a specific day, specific time, and you're specific and you're direct. If you have a car, you're going to drive to her house like a gentleman and you're going to pick her up. If you are not a driver, then you make alternative arrangements for her to meet you there.
Yeah.
If she says that she cannot make the date, this is what you're going to say. You're going to say, maybe next time. And then you make your excuses and you hang up the phone. So you give her an opening, maybe next time.
So now it's up to her to.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, gentlemen, never accept a maybe date. So if you've made the invitation for her to join
So you need to be exact.
it has to be exact.
Yeah.
If she says she's unsure,
Precise, yeah.
right? If she
Yeah.
says she's unsure, you could ask, you could help her out and say, when works for you?
When it would work for you. Yeah.
If she says, oh, I'm not sure, my calendar is all over the place, I'm not really sure, then that's a maybe date. That's the point you're going to say, let me know when your schedule clears up, maybe next time. 5 out of 10 times, if you say this, she will immediately, right there on the phone, create the appointment.
She'll reschedule.
She can help you out.
Yeah.
She can tell you,
Yeah.
I will
She'll-
call you, let me just check
Check
my
my
calendar.
calendar.
That's different.
It's different. Yeah.
But when she says, I'm not sure, maybe, it's most likely because the attraction is in there.
And or there's someone
Or
else.
there are a couple of guys.
There are a couple of guys, or there's a guy she's already seeing,
Yes.
but she doesn't know how to tell you.
Right.
Yes, because sometimes some women are very. I know
Polite,
to
polite.
be polite is not that polite. That thing of women being polite is not helping that guy.
No.
You need to be straightforward and say, look, I have someone I'm seeing, you know, but sometimes I feel like some women like too much attention. You know, they know they have a boyfriend or they have someone they're serious with, but they just want more attention from guys.
Why not?
Yeah, but you're not making it good for that guy, because if you're straightforward with the guy, then he would.
That's
move on.
often because women expect a man to be able to read between the lines.
Yeah, but okay, now we're going to go back to what we said about 16 to 25. How many boys are going to read between the lines from that age?
Right. Very few.
Very few.
Very few.
You're saying this because probably, you're not, we've got a bit of experience or whatnot. But a guy that's like is 16, 18, has a crush on this girl, he's never going to read between the lines.
He doesn't have the testicular fortitude.
No, he
to do that.
doesn't. So he will keep pressed, trying and trying. And the girl will keep playing that game.
Again, that's because,
Yeah.
pardon me.
Yeah.
Again, that's because society has told you work hard is how you get ahead in life.
Yeah.
But really, what society and what the most Reverend James are trying to tell you is that working smart is what's going to get
Working
you ahead.
smart. Working smart and working, there's this word of luck. They said when opportunity meets
Preparation.
preparation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
So you're prepared.
Prepared.
So, but I hope you're taking notes. So now let's assume everything's gone smoothly and she's actually agreed to this date. Don't be the guy who sends 10 text messages after that. Because a lot of men, young guys, and guys in general feel that because we're communicating on the phone, we're building rapport. You cannot build rapport on the phone. You build rapport in person.
In person, or call it. First of all, call it.
Obviously.
Call it. I feel like, sorry to cut you there,
Right.
Benny. I feel like calling is very important.
Right.
It's more, but you see, texting, it comes with so much confusion. You know, you might say something. There's sometimes you might even say something like, you might make a funny statement, and she would not understand.
And she takes it the wrong way.
The wrong way, and that's it.
That's done. You're
It's
out.
done. You're out of the game. I'm sorry I call it a game, but it's actually a game.
It is a game. The game of dating.
It's a game. But there's sometimes, but you could say the same thing on the phone, and she would understand because the tone of voice and everything. And
she knows it's a joke.
And she knows a joke. But on the phone, it might not look like a joke.
It doesn't translate as well.
It doesn't translate well.
So be old school with it. Pick up the phone.
Be old
Now,
school.
if she's unwilling to pick up the phone, it's because most likely either it's not the right time or there's something she's hiding.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
you press eject.
Eject.
You
Take
save
it out.
yourself a lot of money, a lot of time.
Take it out.
Yeah.
Sorry, let it go.
Out.
Out. There's no point.
Right. Do not have a scarcity mentality, a guy.
And that's where it comes to having your purpose first.
Exactly.
Because if you have your purpose, it's easy for you to delete it out.
Because you don't want the drama in your life.
No, you don't want it because it's going to affect your purpose in life.
Yes.
Your focus. And when it doesn't work is when you don't have a focus, that's when you become needy.
Right.
You become needy because
you don't have a focus.
No focus. You have nothing else you're doing. As you said before, you said go to the gym, go gym or whatnot. If you want to go to university, go university.
If you have a trade,
if you have a trade, if you want to do this, if you have those things, you're a busy man. And if you're a busy man or a busy boy, those things will not bother you. In fact, it's going to help you because you go like, oh, thank God, like, at least it's good that I know now that she's not picking up the phone. Than for me to get into this.
That's a red flag there.
Yeah, but you know it's even worse when you now get into the relationship with it and she start acting like that. It might be emotionally, it might emotionally damage your, whatever.
But you might be dealing with somebody who's not a good communicator.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah.
Right, because at the beginning you are vetting this individual because you don't know them from a can of paint. She doesn't know you from a can of paint either.
Yeah.
Because we're not just here for the guys. The ladies listening to this, obviously, you are more than likely nodding your head because this makes sense. You would rather a guy is straight to the point about a date and the time of the date, and you also would like a guy who knows what he wants and who can read between the lines and who understands and can handle you the way you want to be handled. So
what age are we? Sorry, girls. What age are we talking about now? Because I don't think a guy that's 16 or 17 knows what he wants.
I mean, I'm not an ageist. I believe that if you have achieved that level of spiritual, mental, physical, financial aptitude at 16,
it could
then
actually come at 16.
then that's great for you.
It could actually come at 16. Actually,
it's possible.
Yeah,
we don't put an age on these things. All we're saying is that by and by,
to be awakened can be any
time.
time, from any age. Actually, yeah.
It can be any age.
Yeah, it could be.
So you've got her phone number. You've called her. And she has said maybe, and she's trying to play around, and you say maybe next time. Call her one more time, 2 or 3 days later. If she's still unwilling to make a concrete date for you, then you have to delete her number.
She's not interested.
She's not interested. She's just being polite.
Okay, what about this? Sorry to call. What about a scenario, like a scene where she did that, and after like 2 weeks, she just called you from the blues? What were you gonna do?
It does happen. So, but that's because you've pulled back.
And not pull back. So what do you advise that guy to do?
Okay, so I mean, again, we're still at the initial stage.
Okay.
So you're not dating. She ghosts you for 2 weeks, and sometimes that's fine. You have to give women the space to miss you, which is why you find.
Will she miss you when she doesn't even know you?
But according to your question, she decided to call you.
Oh, she decided. Oh well, then she.
So there must be a reason.
There must be a reason why.
You must have made an impression, or there's a reason she's called you.
Or maybe she had a man and something.
and something.
Happened and you're the yeah. You know what I mean?
You're not a crystal ball gazer, so you don't
Yeah,
know.
but that could happen too.
It can happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So the guy wasn't, maybe the guy messed it up, or the guy, he didn't do, the guy wasn't the right
but
guy.
that's
or
because you give her space. Because
Yeah.
if you were blowing up her phone, she probably wouldn't call you
she
back.
wouldn't call you, even if she doesn't like that guy anymore, she wouldn't call you.
Yes.
You'll be the last person she'll call.
Exactly.
Or even text back
But
and
you-
say sorry and all that.
Let's look
Yeah.
at it this way: if she's a beautiful woman, she probably gives out her phone number, or she has a request for her phone number quite a lot.
Of course. Yeah.
So let's assume there are a couple of guys that have this number, this
Yeah.
amazing number to the presidency,
yeah.
to her queenship, to her
Yeah.
majesty.
yeah.
Now the question is this: who do you think she'll be most interested in? The guy who's blowing up her phone, trying to get to her door, trying to get her on a date, trying to get in her knickers, or the guy who's reserved,
Yeah.
who's made his intentions known, who's asked for a date, but who's willing to respect her boundaries and her space, and
Boundaries.
pulls back
Yeah.
and allows her time to meet him halfway?
Mm.
Who do you think she'll be more attracted to?
Of course, the second one.
Exactly.
Not the first one. The first one's like a creep. That's what they call creep. Women. You know what? The thing about, I don't know, but from what I know, because obviously I got sisters, from what I know is a man that women, they can easily class you as a creep quickly. It's so quick the way they do it. Just a little thing you just do that. Oh, he's a creep. It makes them even feel good that you're doing that you're stalking them sometimes, because
So they can.
yeah, take you out, and it makes them feel like it adds to their profile as well. When men are stalking, they don't like it, but it makes them feel like, oh my God, I must be very beautiful for many men stalking me like this.
Right.
And it could be dangerous too, as women, because as girls, don't seek attention that you cannot finish. Or what's the word? Is it, yeah. You
Don't bite more than you
don't,
can chew.
Yeah, bite more you cannot chew, because you go into this guy, you don't know if the guy is a psycho, and you go in there and you're playing this stupid game sometimes, and this guy might not be normal.
Exactly.
So
Exactly right.
don't play that game. If you feel you're not interested in a guy, let him know you're not interested in him. It's so.
This is a
it's not
problem.
rocket science.
This is an issue though, James,
Yeah,
because a lot of men don't take rejection very.
they don't take rejection.
So that's why a lot of women are a
You
bit
have to be careful.
skeptical to say no.
Oh,
to-
okay,
to-
okay. I get what you mean.
Yeah,
To
because-
say no.
Yes,
okay.
because
okay.
some men, some boys, because only a boy acts this way, thinks that all right, this is an
But is there
invitation
no
to
way
try
you
harder.
can? Is there no way you can say it? You
That's
can be diplomatic.
That's what girls do. They expect that because they're not picking up your phone calls, because they're not responding quickly to you, that you catch the drift.
Yeah, but that's a decent man. Well, if it's a real psycho, do you think he would not be more upset?
I think from the perspective of a woman,
Mm.
it's probably safer that she just slowly
Ghost you.
reduces
The way
that
she talks
interaction.
to you. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So not like instant ghosting you. Not
Yes.
instantly, like they just ghost you, like. But so they do it like slowly.
Like
Yeah, it could work.
I
Yeah,
sent you a
that
text message and you don't respond for 2 days.
Oh yes, okay, that's true. Okay. That's a good way of doing that. Yeah, okay. That's
Right.
a good way of doing that.
So, but
Yeah.
okay, so now we're on the date.
Yeah.
You've come on the date. Arrive 15 minutes early, gentlemen. Tell her on the phone, if I arrive before you, I'll buy a drink and I might get you your favorite drink. If you arrive before me, do the same.
Do you think it's right for you to get a drink for a woman because you don't know her?
I mean,
Because-
you could get a drink for yourself.
Get a drink first for yourself, and when she comes, then get her a drink.
Exactly, you could do
Because
that.
because sometimes it could, because
I understand.
you understand what I mean, yeah. Because she might think, why is he getting him a drink? Is
No,
he
that's
gonna
fine.
spike it or stuff? You know what I mean? Because
that's fine.
you have to be careful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
as you said, I totally agree with you. You come 15 minutes early, wait for her, get yourself a drink. As soon as she comes, you can how you want to introduce yourself again, or make her, whatever you do. Let her sit down. Sit down. Okay, what do you want to drink? She say that you go and get her a drink and bring it to her.
Right.
That's fine.
And don't be that guy who thinks just because you bought a girl a drink, you suddenly own her.
She doesn't owe you nothing.
She doesn't owe you anything. Don't be that
Jack
guy
said
who
she
gets
owes you nothing.
a girl a drink and then
owes you nothing.
and then you're both nursing the drink. The whole point,
Owes you nothing.
the whole point of the date is
Is
so
to get
that
to know each other.
get to know each other, but most likely to make her laugh, to make her
Make her
comfortable.
laugh. Women like that.
Make her laugh, make her comfortable. Don't talk about Trump, even though we love Trump. Even though we
The
love
politics
Trump.
in the first date.
No.
She's not gonna. Even if you text her, she's gonna. This guy's a
Right.
creep.
No heavy stuff.
No heavy. Just
Don't talk
just
about your
light
ex.
stuff. Don't talk about your ex.
Don't
No.
talk about your ex.
It's a red flag.
Right.
Mm.
And here's a little tip. No, very few people will tell you this. Take her to more than one location on that day. Take her to 1, 2, or 3 places because it simulates 3 dates. And a woman
I
is
didn't even
more
know
than
that.
right.
No, don't.
This is a cheat code,
Oh.
and that's a little cheat code for.
I like that. Yeah.
Take her to 2 or 3 dates.
Yeah.
So after you've gone to the first location, you can bounce out. We call this the bounce. You can bounce to a different location.
And you can
bounce
change what you guys are doing.
change what
You can just play like a game or something, a
Right.
funny game. That,
Right.
you need to build that bond.
right.
Exactly.
Right,
yeah.
because a lot of women will sleep with a man after 2 or 3 dates. However, when you simulate 2 or 3 dates on the first date, you radically improve the chances of
Seeing
on the
her
first
again.
date or actually sealing the deal on that first date.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course. Yeah.
So while we're not advocating promiscuity, we're actually advocating what works. So the choice is yours. You can spread the 3 dates over 2 or 3 weeks, knowing fully well
okay.
that you might not meet her again the next day,
Okay.
the next
Now,
date,
yeah.
or you can simulate those
Yeah.
3 dates
Yeah.
in 1 date.
Okay. Now let's talk about money relating to relationship because money plays a big role in relationship. So now let's dive back a little bit to money because if we keep telling guys about how to get women, if you don't have the financial capacity, it's not gonna work. You know what I mean? You need to, as of course we talk about the purpose, your purpose in life, your focus, but now you're focusing your purpose. How do these young men find, what to do, or how do they make money, and how will they make money? And, do you wanna?
Nudge.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a bit better.
that's fine, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. How will they make money? And
So let's talk about money.
yeah, let's talk about money. Exactly.
Okay, so-
let's talk about money.
We'll look at it from this perspective.
Yeah.
From a spiritual, from a mental, and from a physical perspective. From a physical perspective, you make money when you sell your time. From a
And
mental
produce services.
services, so
Time, service, yeah.
you go to your 9 to 5, and the employer looks at you and says, young lady, young man, your time's worth 20, 30, 40 pounds an hour, and that's all.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
all.
if you're working as an
That's
employee.
on the physical level.
Yeah.
On a mental level, you get money by exchanging your ideas.
Ideas, exactly.
On a spiritual level, you get money by realizing that wait for it, drum roll, that you are money.
Oh, you mean like what do you call that? Affirmation?
Affirmation is simply a tool of identification.
It is.
It's a
absolutely.
tool that helps to attune your mind to your identity. Because if you go to a place like Nigeria, the first thing you hear people say is, "Who are you?" Or,
Who are you?
or they
Yeah.
say, "Do you know who I am?"
You know who I am.
It's a bit of a black thing. Do you
Yeah.
know who I am?
Yeah.
Who are you?
So when they're upset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When you go to the bank to get your money, they want your ID card. When you go to the airport to catch your business class flights, they ask for your passport.
Your identity.
The world is run on identity.
Yeah.
So if you're a billionaire and you don't have your identity, you can't withdraw your money from your bank.
No, you can't.
You can't liquidate your stock options. Okay? There might be some people who look at you and say, "Oh, I know you. You're a billionaire, but I still need your ID."
Yeah, because that's a policy.
That's the policy.
Yeah. You can't go against the policy.
So the question is, who are you? Who the devil are you? You are here in this world as a spirit who has lost an identification of who they are. That's why you're lost. That's why you look for who you are with Megan Thee Stallion. That's why you look for who you are in Beyonce, or as Donald Trump
Yeah,
would
you
say,
now start looking
Beyonce.
in who you are from all these people, from musicians and actresses.
That's
and
right, from
all,
your
yeah,
parents.
from parents and stuff.
And even
Yeah,
from financial achievement.
yeah.
So identity is at the spiritual level. So at what level do you want to play? If you want to play from the physical level, and I actually have a book in the works at the moment. It's called Money Magic. That's probably gonna not be out for maybe the next 6 months. When it's out, I will make that available to our viewers. It's called Money Magic, where we talk about money because it's an important thing. There are a lot of religious people who have the idea that money is an evil thing.
Yeah, they say money is the
Okay.
root of all evil, they say.
Nothing could be further from the truth. Um, Money amplifies who you are. If you're already a dysfunctional soul, money
It makes
amplifies
it,
your
yeah,
dysfunctionality.
it does come out, yeah.
So when we're talking about money, you need to decide where you want to play. Do you want to play at the level of the physical manifestation, the mental, or the spiritual? Now, 90% of people play at the physical because they exchange their time and their energy for money.
Yeah.
The big players, the Elon Musks and the Bezoses and the most Reverend Benton, Lux and things and the James of this world operate in the mental and the spiritual level.
Spiritual level. You have to match it up.
You have to decide.
Yeah, just, yeah.
So from a mental level, you want to identify an idea, and that is the idea you exchange for the energy of money. In the spiritual level, you have to establish an identity, and that identity is what rewards you with money.
So do you think like wealth goes with spirituality and riches goes with the physical?
I mean, if we're talking about just good old fashioned money, the money.
Because wealth is different from riches.
I mean, the difference is merely semantics to me. I think when we talk about wealth, most people just want us to focus on the money, even though you're absolutely right, and it encompasses mental well-being, health,
That's wealth.
and all of that.
Yeah.
It's an all-encompassing
It's all yeah,
state.
the money, your mental state, all those things, and people you've helped. Because I feel like being rich, sometimes. So from what I know about wealth, like when they said people like that, there's a guy called Mansa Musa, right?
Mansa Musa,
Mansa Musa, yeah, that's wealthy. That's not rich because wealthy is like he went when he was going to Mecca. He was giving gold or whatnot. He was giving things, and gold went down. That's wealthy. Like wealth is when someone is wealthy, they help people around them. They make they set them up. They make sure like they carry people with them. Or rich people, they don't really That's what I think of rich people. Rich people might just be rich, but the people around it, they don't care. They just themselves. So I feel being rich and wealthy is different.
Absolutely.
It's different.
So,
I don't know.
I think you're.
I know. It's not like I'm just saying I don't know. I do actually know. That's how
So
I
we're
see
dealing on in the financial riches,
Yeah.
and the wealth is more about the holistic aspect of it.
Holistic. Exactly. It's holistic.
And now, can we tie that down back to relationships? Because
Yeah.
we will skip from the relationship talk to money within the next few moments. But we
Yeah.
want to just
Finish
give you
the
guys
topic.
finish
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
topic
let's
about
finish it.
relationship.
Yeah. Yes. Let's do that. Yeah.
Because there's no romance without finance.
No, that's not. It just goes together. Finance, romance. Exactly. Yeah.
There's no romance without finance.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we'll go back in and discuss a bit more about relationships because it's an ongoing thing. It's not something you can take care
It's
of
an ongoing thing.
in one episode of a podcast. But I think with what we've discussed, you now have an idea of how to approach the initiation phase, right?
Exactly.
The dating phase is similar because you've taken her on a date. Your job is to make a date, make her laugh, and procreate.
That's it.
Okay? So you make a date. Don't be that guy who spends countless hours on the phone with a girl thinking that you're going to create rapport with her that
No, you
way.
can't create rapport on
No.
the, you can't create rapport on the phone.
Give a woman the space to miss you.
Back in the day, sorry to call you, back in our dad's time, yeah, it was actually better then because it was more like it was hard to even send an email. They said so they couldn't
you could write a love letter.
Yeah, and it was once, and before the person. So I feel like this WhatsApp thing has made it so easy that it's just like you send a message and they put you expect that person to reply you after 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But an email, you know that even if you send an email, you know in your head, they know that time they knew that it could take 2 days, it could take 3 days. But because of this WhatsApp and all this chatting stuff, you feel like she owes you something to reply you. Because you feel like, oh, it's WhatsApp. And you can see that she's seen it.
Yeah.
In the email, you can't see she's seen it.
Yeah.
You send an email, you don't know. Even if she doesn't see for 2 days, even if she's seen it instantly, you do not know that she's seen it.
It gives her space.
It's space. Well, WhatsApp doesn't give us space these days because someone sends like let's say you send me a message and you can see I've seen it, and then there's this expectation
to reciprocate. Right, and that doesn't give her the space for attraction to grow because attraction, you cannot force attraction.
No, you can't force it. No.
That's why you might be a billionaire, but your wife is not necessarily attracted to you. She's still sleeping with the pool boy.
Yeah, of course, because
So you can't force attraction.
No.
Attraction grows, and it grows if you follow the 3 M's, which is make a date, and you have to keep dating your girlfriend. You have to keep dating your wife.
Yeah.
This doesn't end simply because she says I do and you say you do.
Yeah, that's the mistake with many guys, isn't it?
Right.
With guys in general. They feel like they've got her and that's it.
Right.
There is an ongoing process. It is work. It's like how you go to work every day.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. You have to keep going and keep, you can't stop.
It's a rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
But if you follow the 3 M's, you're not going to go too wrong. Stay off the phone. The phone is for setting dates. It's not for creating rapport. It's for setting dates.
Yeah.
Hi, I was thinking about you. When are you free on Friday? Meet me here at 8 o'clock. I'll drive by and pick you up. Make sure you're nice and ready for me. Does this work for you? She says yes, absolutely. You come, you drive down, you pick her up like a gentleman. You take her out. You make her laugh.
And guys, another thing. Please, guys, always remember a woman can take time to dress up. Don't get upset. You know where I'm coming from?
He's got sisters, he knows.
Don't get upset. Because, the funny thing is, and when they see that at the first date, is a red flag for women. When they see, okay, you meet them and you say, oh, meet me somewhere here, or I'm going to pick you up, and you're probably in your car and waiting for her, and she's not arrived yet, and sometimes they do it on purpose. Women test you.
Right. Here we go.
Always test, especially if a woman likes you, she will test you more. If she doesn't like you, she won't really test you. She'll be like, okay,
Normally, I always agree with James. But this is where I have a slight deviation in opinion with the testing thing.
Yeah.
But I'll let you finish your point.
Okay, the testing thing, it might not be that, okay, there's different types. The testing I'm talking about now is, she might just want to know if you're the type that can get upset quickly. So she might be like, you might say, okay, meet me, I'm going to come pick you at 6 p.m. And you get, you're in your car, and you park your car, and you call and say, hey, hi, I'm downstairs, I'll be waiting for you. She might deliberately just not even come after 30 minutes. Just to want to catch the feel of how
you react.
And she comes, guys, do not feel upset. Don't show it. Try as much as possible not to show it. I'm telling you, that's how I feel. Yeah. Just be like, okay, whatever. She gets in the car. Just be calm with it. Maybe later in your relationship, when you guys are in a relationship, then you can start telling her, look, babe, I don't like it that you get, you come late. But don't do it on the first date, and don't actually do it on the second date, because she wants to know the kind of person you are. Because sometimes they want to know how angry you can get to.
That's what we call the shit test.
The shit test. I
The
know.
shit test.
Yeah.
So the reason why women do the shit test
Yeah.
is often because they are doubting your masculinity.
Yeah.
I think that's where I have this a slight deviation. I mean, me and James are on the same page. On the same page with this.
Yeah.
But my slight deviation with it is
Yeah.
the shit test happens when when she's seen a chink in your armor, when she's seen a potential lack of masculinity somewhere. So she wants to test that to see if what she saw
It's true,
is true or not.
not.
So,
Yes.
but women will not shit test a man that's proven himself time and time again to be
Yeah, but how do you prove your timing? That's what I just said. It's the first date. How are you gonna prove it?
right. But if
Yeah.
the attraction she has to use high, because
Yeah, it could
I,
be
I,
high.
I like to rate attraction
Yeah.
from 0 to 10. If a woman is attracted to you to a 10, you
She'll
can
make it
do
even
no
easy
you
with
can
you.
do
She'll
no
even
wrong
make
in
it
her.
easy. She'll
She's
even
not
make-
going to test you.
No, she's not gonna test you.
She's-
She'll make it easy for you.
Right. What's she
Is it-
testing? She's
yeah,
head over
she's
heels.
Already, she's already over heels about.
Where
it,
she
yeah.
starts to test you is from attraction 6 down.
Yeah, 6 down. Yeah, 6 down.
Right? She's
Yeah,
beginning
6
to
down.
test you to find an excuse to get rid of you. Really.
Even when she likes you so much, she might even initiate the date.
Of course,
Have you seen that before?
that would happen. that happens only to a rarefied few.
She might be the one go like, oh, me and my, I want to go to this place. That do you want to come? It has happened before.
Or she asks you, "What are you doing this weekend?"
What are you doing this weekend? So she's pushing that to you.
Yes,
To
and
like,
a
open
lot
question.
of guys are clueless. Like she might say, it might even be somebody you work with. What
Yeah.
are you doing this weekend? And you think, okay, this is just the usual English or Western politeness.
No, she's getting interested. in
She
you.
wants to know, can I be part of your plans?
Yeah.
And she might ask this a couple of times, and when you don't click, she
Yeah.
immediately says, okay, this guy is not
Not
interested.
interested in me.
And then she
And
moves
there's
on.
another one that open. Is it not open question? The other one, that one that like what's it called again? When a woman does not. So you say, "How are you?" She said, "I'm fine," but she doesn't ask you how you are. Tell her she's not interested in you. I'm sorry.
So what we're doing here is
You're
we're
not
giving you
interested.
little things to look out for, little red
Details,
flags.
yeah, red flags.
Another one is if you say to her, and this is important in the initiation stage.
Yeah.
So you might say to her, "Hi, what's your name?"
Yeah.
And she tells you, "My name's Wilhelmina," or whatever the case may be. And a lot of guys lose this very important opportunity to find out her level of interest. They immediately say, "My name's Femi, my name's Benny,
Yeah.
No. Find out if she asks you what your name is.
Yeah, don't jump into.
Don't jump in.
assume.
So, hi,
Hi.
blah, 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 what's your name? My name is Wilhelmina. What's your name?
If she's not interested, she wouldn't ask.
She wouldn't
that.
ask you your
But
name.
if you jump and say, "Yeah, my name is James" or "My name is Benny," you've
lost the opportunity.
Opportunity, exactly.
Okay, so that's the initiation stage. Follow these rules, and you'll be able to get her to her door, get her to the restaurant, take her on a couple of places.
And guys, there's another thing. When you start dating a girl, if you see in her, let's say when you were dating her, she was in shape or she was beautiful, whatever, never tell her to go to the gym, but guys.
Unless you met her at the gym.
Yeah, never do that. It's a red flag. Because she will be like, oh, so he doesn't even he doesn't like the way I look like. Look, never say that. It is very rude. You don't tell a woman to go to the gym because you wanna no. You chose her.
If you don't like it, get somebody else.
Get someone else. Stop putting what you want. Like you obviously if you've I totally understand things change in life. We all change, don't we? We like certain things. Sometimes, you like a slim woman. After a while, you like a woman with boss and, robust women. We all change. And women change as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes women would like a skinny guy. After a while, they'll be like, no, I want a guy that is big, Sometimes they want this certain of guy. Or sometimes, even we guys, sometimes we might like a blonde girl. Another time we like one brunette, So we change what we like. But then if you know that this is not what you want anymore, then just leave it or
break up with her.
Or break up with her or something. Or
But aren't we supposed to help each other grow?
Yeah, we're supposed to help each other grow.
So if you find that there's a a physical thing or a health implication to her being overweight? Is it that deleterious? Is it that toxic for you
No,
to
no, it's not toxic for if you have experience and you've
know how to navigate it?
yeah. I'm talking about guys that just going to dating. Not with me, not even you. It's not with me. I wouldn't say that because I'm talking about these guys that social media has wrecked their lives. We know what social media is doing. We do not go with social media because we've done that and we've seen that it doesn't work. You know what I mean? You met supermodel and what and then so is that all she has for me? There's more than that. But we're talking about young guys that are just going to dating. And the first thing they do, you just said it again, when they don't have a role model, their role model becomes people like Beyonce, people like, on
Cardi
social
B.
media. Yeah, Cardi B. And these people are promoting these things. So, and they say something. If you can't, there are two people in this world. There are either people that know what they want, and there's other people that just follow the follower.
And that brings us back to current affairs.
Yeah.
The world's waking up. Kamala Harris felt that she could win the opinion or the sentiment of people by introducing these role models. But
Exactly.
unfortunately, she wasn't reading the pulse of the culture. The culture is that people need new role models.
Exactly.
People are tired of the
old ones.
of the old gods, the old goddesses.
Yeah.
And this is what always happens with culture. The old gods and the old goddesses are overthrown. There was a time people worshipped physical depictions of gods, be that Zeus, be that statues, and they
Yeah.
were replaced by Hollywood celebrities and musicians. But we've come to the point now that humans, society, is dethroning these weird gods, these
Exactly.
strange gods, and the new god is the self, and that's why when you go to the temple of Delphi, it says at the entrance, "Know thyself,"
Know thyself.
because when you know thyself, you will not have any gods above me, for I am a jealous God. When what that particular scripture is referring to is that yourself, your personal identity, your I amness, be that as a man, as a woman,
yeah.
in the dating world or in the financial world, your I amness is a jealous God.
Is it like this affirmation? I am successful. I am that. I am. I am. Yeah.
The I am is the foundation.
It is the foundation.
So the I am exists in a state of no expression. So when you add I am wealthy, you're adding expression to it.
Exactly.
So when the scientists, the physicists, the Jewish physicists, they did the experiment called the double slit experiment, they found out that when they tried to measure particles, it behaved in a certain way. So it's sometimes acted like a particle, sometimes it acted like a wave.
Yeah.
So the I amness has no state.
Does it? I'm sorry to cut you because we were talking about that. Even when we talk about height, where do you get that from? Social media.
I mean, when you talk about heights, yes, it is social media.
It is social media. Everything is all like there is nothing like everyone is saying. Even you get. There was something I saw on TikTok, right? There's a girl that is 5'2", and they asked her like, "What kind of man do you want?" She said, "I want a guy that is 6 foot above."
But that's a preference.
But come on, it's how we are listening. It's a preference, but if we look at it really, like we would understand that this is coming from social media stuff.
It is coming from, but we can also say that there are certain overweight guys.
Yeah.
Just because they have some money, they want a skinny girl, but they have big pot bellies. We know them a lot of.
Yeah, but it is the psyche it's something with it's like the experiment they did about a baby and they put two dolls and they said there's a black doll and there's a white doll and they said which one is more pretty and she doesn't even know but she just chose that one because in her psyche She's been watching like back in the days, they used to have like Little Mermaid was blonde and blue eyes, and so for her, she just automatically think like that one's
Or she associated beauty with
beauty
whiteness.
whiteness, and she just went that one is that black and it's evil. So it's the same thing that goes with height. People just automatically think like if a guy's taller, really tall like that, he's gonna protect it, but the guy might not.
But I'm happy because your statement has given us a nice, healthy segue to move away from the conversation of relationship to maybe some more slightly controversial but socially important discussions about the perception of beauty. So if social media, as you say, has created this idea of whiteness as a model for beauty, is there anything that we can do as a people, as a society?
We already said Emmanuel, God is with us, or God is in us. If we know that we have gods inside of us, what does that entail? What does that say? Are we all beautiful?
But where does that leave certain demographics who would want to put artificiality on themselves? You have a lot of our beautiful African women think they are not beautiful until they put artificial hair on their heads.
Which, yeah, I know.
And while I said that we do not shy away from controversy in this podcast, I actually meant it. So I have never come across a Caucasian woman who thought it was necessary for her to put dreadlock attachments or black woman's hair on her head.
I've seen that though. I've seen that
And
on social media, but you get few like one in I don't know, maybe 1,000. I don't know. There is that they want to look black.
so is this an education thing? Do we because this boils down to relationships as well. When we talk about what women find attractive, and you mentioned that the women like a certain kind of man.
Well, we call it a preference, yeah.
So it's a preference. So should we live in a world in which we can do whatever we want? It's okay if the black woman wants to have her hair in whatever way she wants. It's her body. She should feel free to
Exactly.
do it.
I think they should. I think because this conversation, because obviously I had this conversation with my cousin, and we're having this conversation, and my cousin said the same. My cousin said, "Oh, I do not like." Yes, I would. I'm not. Is my preference as well. I do not really like women with wigs. I wouldn't say, but I'm not. But at the same time, I come to understand that is my preference. And if I do not like it, doesn't mean other people cannot like. I'm not gonna talk for other people, because if you feel that's what you want, then that's what you want.
I agree.
Yeah, because because this thing could cause a lot of problems, because then the black woman would keep saying that, oh, is that because of our hair? You're making an excuse to like another race and stuff like that. No, it's not that. If a brother or if someone else finds a woman that is using that attractive, then go for it.
But then this might also be construed as sticking your head in the sand, because we only have to look at the implication of this kind of behavior on society. Now, when you're wealthy, when you're successful, when you're spiritually elevated, you have two options. You can either say, I don't care what's happening below me, my household is good. I don't have to worry about anybody with weaves. It's none of my problem. You can be that person, or you can have a podcast and re-educate people. And re-education is important, especially in a society that is full of fatherless women and motherless men.
Yeah.
Where there are a lot of men that do not respect women because they did not see their mothers receive that kind of respect. So
Exactly.
So they feel, why should women be respected? Because if you respect your mother, respect your grandmother, you'd respect women. You wouldn't have rap videos denigrating a woman regardless of her race.
Yeah.
But when we look out and we see a society in which black women are portrayed as low-class prostitutes in the rap videos, And we don't see the same thing when white men shoot music videos. We don't see white men depict women from their culture
Looking like that.
in that manner.
Exactly.
We now say, because we don't want to offend certain quarters of society, that we
Interesting.
bury our heads in the sand? We can do that.
Interesting. And okay, sorry, before after.
And not just the Western men.
Yeah.
You don't see it even in the
Okay,
Latino
okay.
community.
You know, in Hollywood, or is it Nollywood? This Nollywood thing, yeah. If you notice this trend, there's a woman, she's having braids, right? And she has no money, right? She has braids, she has no money. Suddenly she makes money. The first thing she does is she go buy hair. What does that say? It says that hair is associated with wealth, especially from black women. You know what I mean? Like, even when you look at even jobs, if you go to many companies now, you will see that top executives and women of caliber, right? That are black women, they have to use a wig, and if they don't use it, some of them try to do it with attach. You know what I mean? Like weaving and stuff. But most of them have to put that wig on. There's this thing of it has to be straight. And if you cannot, because black hair is nappy, and it's either nappy or curly a little bit, right? And there's no way you can do it that is going to be that straight, right? So they end up putting that hair. They might not use it at home, right? But they come into work, they have to wear it because that hair is associated with wealth
Or beauty.
Wealth as well, or you've arrived. Because you know what I mean.
I
You
get
get what I mean, because those movies which, in fact, movies are one of the things that shape people's mentality.
That's right.
There's Nollywood, because even when we talk about spirituality, let's go to spirituality now. You go spiritual in movies, Nollywood movies or whatnot. Every time they show, if they show people that are spiritual and doing their thing as evil. And they just bring a Christian and say he has to cast he has to do, what I mean, right?
That's right.
They take our religion away from us.
Our spirituality.
Because our spirituals are ancestors. They make our ancestors feel like they're evil.
So let me ask a question. You mentioned
Exactly.
the correlation of the fake hair and what have you to wealth.
Yeah.
So how did Africans prior to westernization express beauty and wealth with their women? Because certainly those hair extensions and wigs didn't exist in that way back then. Yet there were wealthy women, there were beautiful women who were still able to express.
It was
their
more
beauty.
of the body, how
The jewelry
and how they look.
fresh they were.
How fresh and how
well fed.
Yeah, well fed. You know, when if you're big and you have the body and all that, it symbolizes wealth.
So one of the reasons
and the jewelries as well. Yeah,
absolutely. So one of the reasons Africans and people of color are having such a tough time in the world is because they have forgotten their identity, their ancestry, their identity.
They've forgotten it. Yeah.
I believe wholeheartedly from my studies, both as a legal professional and spiritual work with loads of clients, that racism is a cop-out. The real issue is class.
It's class, actually. Yeah.
Because even Africans themselves, they had classes, they had caste systems, and they had slaves. So Africans themselves, prior to the slave trade, and even till recent history, they had what's in the West you'd call butlers and servants.
Yes.
And a lot of them were treated quite in an appalling manner.
Of course.
Why am I saying this? It was regardless of their skin color.
Yeah, it was.
Racism is a social construct.
The social, anything zim.
It's a social construct to distract from the real issue, which is class.
It is class.
Now, when you have your money up, when you have your talent as a beacon to represent you, suddenly those racial structures begin to fall apart, especially if you can come together as a society as a community to lift each other up and not exist as crabs in a barrel. A lot of people of color, and we're not saying that racism is non-existent, we're saying that it's often used as a crutch, as a fugazi, to obfuscate the real issue, which is a class issue.
It's a class issue.
So you have Hollywood depict people of color in a certain way.
Yeah.
And this is embedded into the minds of the larger world and the larger society, and they begin to project this image of blackness.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we need to do as citizens of the world, and not just people of color, because I don't see color, I only see green. We need to go back to the foundations.
Our ancestors.
That's right. We're going too far into the mist, what I call the mist, the confusion.
It's confusing, isn't it?
It's confusing.
Yeah.
Now, ladies, it's your money, it's your hair.
You can do whatever
You can
you
do
want.
whatever you want. What we're talking about is a bit deeper than the surface understanding of what you stick to your hair. We're really talking about self-love.
Self-love.
If you can look yourself in the mirror and say, regardless of my hair
Or not.
or
still
not,
pretty.
I'm still pretty, then you've won.
You won. Yes, it once, because obviously we know the genesis of this hair. It was used because when people had cancer, they did chemotherapy. They were on. Or let's say you want to go for a show and you don't want to have your hair. You want to have like a green hair. You want to have let's say your hair is like, I don't know, brunette, and you want to have green hair. You put that wig on, right? That's what it started from first, using wigs to compensate for maybe, you have chemotherapy, you lost your hair, it justifies that,
It justifies
It
that.
justifies, you just want to do it for a day, you just want to change your look for a day, you just look really funky. But then it now became to, people start using it.
And it's fine.
Yeah, but it's still fine. It's still fine. It's what you want to do. And to be honest, there are men that like it, and there are men that wouldn't like it. It's a matter of choice.
But if you do a poll, you will find that a lot of men value the natural look in a woman.
Yes, of course, because there's nothing like there's nothing like a natural look. Men like natural look. Even sometimes they say, look, less makeup is the less makeup you have as a woman, the more men are attracted to you.
And of course, I can hear certain quarters of society say we don't give an F what we men like, but you're going to find that is often a statement born out of anger or ignorance, because you actually do care. But let's also extend this flagellation to the male counterparts. So if you look at certain countries like Nigeria, they've become, instead of becoming synonymous with oil, synonymous with culture, which they have in abundance, they have become synonymous with fraud. Now, the question is why? Because a lot of the young men have come into this confusion as well. They are as confused as their female counterparts by wanting to have wealth quickly, without really offering either of the three tiers that me and James spoke about, which is either the physical part in which you're giving your time for money, the mental part when you're giving your ideas for money, and or the spiritual part where you are identifying yourself as money.
They've lacked patience.
So, my question to you, young man, as you sit on your computer sending that email or making that fake profile, is with the same energy.
You can direct focus that energy to something.
With the same energy, can you not drop ship?
Yeah.
With that same
There's
energy,
all many things you could do.
can you not learn how to trade?
You could be a trader.
With that same energy, can you not be the next Nigerian Elon Musk?
Exactly.
And when you've achieved wealth, why do you think that the best thing to do is to drag your brothers and sisters down. And to show off your achievement?
I think it's because of I think it goes with what they've done. I feel like I'm not saying all of them are going to be like that, but if most of them are truly using their minds to create wealth in a honest way, constructive way, there's likely is likely for them to do that to their brothers. I feel most guys that do that are guys that got their money in a illicit way. Exactly. So they want to prove something because deep inside them, they know that what they're doing is not good, and they know they have limited time. So they want to shine
as quickly as possible.
Exactly. So they're trying to bring. They want to bring their brothers down as much as so they go on social media. They do that. But if you made your money in a good way, you're not going to want to do that.
Absolutely, James is absolutely right. I've spent time with a lot of ultra wealthy individuals, being one myself, and one thing I have noticed is that it's not the guy in the fancy suit and the bogus jewelry that is the boss. It's often the guy in the background wearing a pair of shorts, a pair of flip-flops,
exactly,
and a t-shirt,
very modest,
and a Abercrombie t-shirt.
Very modest.
Yes, of course, he's gonna have the really.
Of course, there's always the wristwatch. There's always one thing.
The understated wristwatch.
Yes, always
the wristwatch might be understated, but when you check the price, it's the value of a couple of houses.
Yeah,
and it's always that individual who has transcended, but. As Africans, I know that we're flamboyant beings.
Yeah, we are. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're just talking about who brings people down. That's why I said that those people that go into fraud and do stuff like they're usually the ones that will do that to you. But the ones that genuinely make their money, they will not because they have a lot of that. Because as you said it, there's a limited time for those people.
So you're going to find that the guys who've made that money in that manner, and who've decided that they have to really show it off, are the ones who are going to be more attracted to the girls with the fake hair.
Exactly.
Because you live a fake life, so you're going to be attracted to fake things.
Fake equals fake. Fake plus fake it matches. It's good.
It's the same energy.
It's the same energy.
And the people who really understand what I'm talking about, go to the comment section and tell us how you feel. Because
we're open to suggestions, options, opinions. Opinion, not option. Opinions. You tell us if as we said, is your preference. But what we just feel is fake and fake.
They're a perfect match.
The perfect match.
A match made in hell.
Barry, don't speak like that,
because hell is a state of mind.
It is a state of mind. Yeah, there's nothing like heaven and hell. Yeah.
If you're happy with the way your life is going, then you don't need to listen to this podcast.
Exactly.
Podcast is for people. This podcast is for
that
people
want to change their lives. I want to,
critical thinkers. People
exactly.
who are ready to challenge the status quo.
Yeah.
And see life not just in the grey area, but in black and white.
And now, sorry to cut you there, because we're going to talk about that spirituality. Let's talk about Nollywood now.
Right.
And we'll talk about why is it that Nollywood is destroying our ancestry, is destroying who we are, destroying where we really come from.
In what way?
In terms of what I just said.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Christianity. I'm a Christian myself. I'm not saying Christianity is a bad thing. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God Almighty. But I do not think. I think that in Christianity, our ancestry is If you look at the stories of our gods, it aligns with Christianity. It's almost, you know what I mean. We talk about our gods. It's similar as Greek mythology. Egyptian. We are all the same. You know what I mean? We're in the intermediary of saying like angels. In our ancestors, we do have angels, don't we?
We call them, they are the ancestors.
Ancestors, exactly.
Ancestral spirits.
Ancestral spirits. So I do not see why they are putting down our ancestry on these movies in Hollywood, and they make you feel like it's evil. And when the pastor comes, the pastor prays and says, is that what they call them again? Those people that do incantations. What do they call them?
The witch doctors.
Witch doctor. They say it's the witch doctor that is doing you. I thought, no, it's not true. In everything, there is good and bad. Even in Christianity, some people are using Christianity to do evil, and some people are using Christianity to do good, isn't it? In every religion, there's good and bad, yin and yang. Even in Buddha, there's yin and yang. It is not true. It all depends on you, what you want to use it for. Our ancestry is not bad. It's something we should celebrate. It's something we should look into. And if your parents didn't teach you, go and do research. You know, my friend here is what's your channel again? Orisha Rising. Go into it on TikTok. Listen to what he's.
In addition to that, we also have
Yeah.
we also have work on alchemy. We have another channel called the Alchemy of Living.
Yeah.
The Orisha Rising brand really is to give Africans and people of color a bit of a taste of their spirituality. It's
exactly.
not an advocation to worship idols. It's not
No.
an advocation for you to go into primitive means of accessing spirituality.
No,
It's simply
no.
a cultural movement
It's a
that,
consciousness.
that gives you pride
Yeah.
in your ancestry.
Yeah. Yeah. So as we said, like I think we should is it honor our ancestry? We should
Well, we as citizens of the world,
Yeah.
our job is identity.
Identity, exactly.
And you are born into your family, you're born into your country, into your nation, into your community for a
Exactly.
reason. And you need to honor that. Now, that's all the time we have in today's podcast because time flies when we're having fun.
It does fly. We're just having fun. We're just talking, aren't we? Yeah.
Guys, I want you to feel free to suggest topics that are pertinent to you that you might want us to break bread over.
Yeah.
But in the next podcast, we'll most likely go deeper into the relationship conversation.
Yeah. So
about money.
we did talk about money. We talked about back home in Africa, Nigeria, and other places that scam is not the right way to go. There's use that brain you have to do that. You can use that brain to create.
And
You can
then-
use that. Yeah.
And there are many of you that will say it's because of your corrupt politicians, but we have no proof of you being able to do better when you get into that position yourself.
Exactly. Look, what I found out is many people that lament a lot and complain a lot, they might be the worst because it has been proving that people that were harassing the government, they were doing it for their own interest,
That's right.
and they get in there and they become worse. So I feel like forget about the government. The government is doing their own. They're trying to help the citizens of
Help
the country.
themselves.
Help themselves as well, and it's not easy like that. You find a way to become successful, to become,
That boils down to identity.
Identity,
Who
exactly.
are you?
Who
So
are you?
it's been lovely. This
Lovely
is your
talking to you.
host, Most Reverend Benton Opena Loxington, and
Most Reverend James,
it's been a pleasure.
And
we'll see you next
next time. Take care.